Real life couple Ben Falcone and Melissa McCarthy star in the new Netflix series God's Favorite Idiot. Let's see if it's worth your time. Hi, my name's Justin. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services. If you guys are like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Mid-level tech support employee Clark Thompson falls in love with co-worker Amelie Luck at exactly the same time he becomes the unwitting messenger of God. So, God's Favorite Idiot stars real-life couple Ben Falcone and Melissa McCarthy. This is created by him as well. He starred in a lot of Melissa McCarthy films and even appeared in some as well. I like their chemistry in the films that I have seen them together, and there's definitely chemistry within this series. There's a lot of moments of the two trying to understand his position as chosen by God to spread a message of peace. He sees him one day after work and he's just glowing inside his body. He's just shining this light, and she is convinced that there's something wrong with him. But we learn that he has to spread the message of peace. And that starts to catch on with the media, and you have people who are believing him, people who are against him, and then you also have Satan and Satan's followers as well, with Leslie Bibb in the story. So there's a lot going on within these 8 episodes. It feels a bit similar to the movie Bruce Almighty, where he was tasked with an assignment from God. That's how it feels. He is just kind of like your average Joe, and he's taken on this responsibility, questions himself, why was he chosen for this position? But a lot of times the series seems to focus on Melissa McCarthy a little more than Ben Falcone's character. There's a lot of characteristics given to her, a lot of things that just feel a little unnecessary. She does cocaine, she takes a lot of drugs, she rides her scooter through the building. There's a lot of things that just feel a little bit unnecessary to this character. And usually I do find Melissa McCarthy to be funny, but not so much within this series. And there's so much of her that it's so unfunny that you feel like it's taking away from Ben Falcone's character's development and his position and him trying to spread that word. They are falling in love throughout this series, so Melissa McCarthy is there to kind of help him, but also fall in love with him as well. At times, it just feels like she is the main character rather than him. The story is centered around him and how he's spreading that message, but several times with how they discuss Melissa McCarthy's character and what she's into and the drugs she takes and how no one believes her at work. We get the sense that it's focused on her a little more than Ben Falcone's character. And that's very frustrating throughout, because I think it's a fun concept that could lead to some crazy moments, and he's just a kind of quiet guy, and he's got to learn to kind of accept what is happening. But we get so much of her that the series ends up being unfunny, even if they have good chemistry and even if they work well together. There's so many times that I just couldn't get into her character, and they try so hard to make these two characters vastly different. He's quiet, he questions the chicken that is at this restaurant and how it's prepared. She just wants mini glasses of tequila. She doesn't like to call them shots. So they're vastly different, but they end up finding some common ground and falling in love. But the show is so focused on showing us why she is different than Ben Falcone's character, and that she does drugs and she doesn't take work seriously. They're so different, but the show is so focused on telling us why they are different that almost at times the story of him spreading that message and trying to protect others and help people, it seems like it's taking a step back several times within it. We meet Clark's father in the series, played by Kevin Dunn, who relates to his son mainly through the sauna. There's a lot of unintentional parental incest jokes coming from Kevin Dunn. At first, I was a little bit taken back, and I laughed a couple times, but the unintentional jokes about parental incest kept coming, and it just was a little odd at times and a little creepy. I did like Leslie Bibb, though, in the story. She was right in her role. I thought she was pretty funny, and very confident. She demanded your attention within the series. There's a classic story of good versus evil, and Lucifer is trying to take over heaven, and God is requesting Clark's help. You do see some special effects and everything, and it's decent. It's not like the best thing ever, but when it starts to focus on other things besides Melissa McCarthy, and more so like Leslie Bibb's story and how she wants Clark on her side, I thought that was pretty interesting and pretty funny. But I was so frustrated with the amount of Melissa McCarthy in here. I like her as an actress. She's very talented. We see her take on some dramatic roles very well. Those comedic movies that she's done, like Bridesmaids, they're hilarious. But there's just something about the way that this character was written that it just was not funny. And she was at the center of a lot of episodes, and it just did not work for me. It took a concept that could be really funny, and seeing this development for this quiet guy and seeing him kind of take on this responsibility. At times it worked, at times it seemed like it just was not its focus. So overall, God's favorite idiot, I would say skip it. There is some chemistry and they work well together. You can just tell that it comes naturally to them to work together, but everything else within the story just did not work for me. So before I give you my score for God's favorite idiot, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give God's favorite idiot a C+. Thank you guys for checking my review for the new series, God's Favorite Idiot. Have you guys seen it on Netflix? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.